Welcome back to Trans Guy Reacts. My name is Nick, and I make videos about women's basketball, collegiate or professional. And today I'm going to talk about the WNBA games for Tuesday, June 4th. There were 3 games on, and of course they were some were during the same time or like cascading, which is pretty annoying but very typical for the WNBA. The first game that started was the Washington Mystics versus the Connecticut Sun. The Connecticut Sun has the best start in franchise history with 8-0, and the Washington Mystics has the worst with 0-8. Kind of funny, kind of situation. But I mean, what can you say? You got the nepo baby Eric Tebow, the coach for the Washington Mystics, failing horribly for the start of the season. This is pretty awful. This is his second year as a coach, and I mean, what do you expect from a nepo baby? So I don't know what else to say about that. You have unfortunately Mariah Jefferson was also out because she had a right ankle injury for the Sun, but that really did not matter. The Mystics were able to kind of keep themselves in the game in the first and second quarter, but the Sun were struggling a bit to begin with. And the Mystics were actually playing defense and forcing some shot clock violations. It was nice to see Paige Beckers and KK Arnold from UConn in attendance. Of course, they were there not only because UConn is close to the Sun Arena, but also because Aaliyah Edwards is their former teammate, and she was she plays for the Washington Mystics. So it's nice to see the support there, and those are our future rookies in the league soon as well. So that's really cool. At the halftime, it was actually 33-32. The Mystics were up, very surprising, but I really didn't think they were going to keep this up. Basketball's a game of runs, and as I suspected, the Sun were able to turn it on. There was one point, though, Myisha Hines-Allen did get a technical for cussing at a ref for a missed call, I believe, and I think I want to point that out. Remember that Myisha Hines-Allen got a technical for cussing at a ref, okay? Just a technical. That's it. That's all that happened. The refs this season, I have to say, are like very quick to blow the whistle and are not taking any abuse, any kind of like negative thing thrown their way. They're giving out technicals. Anywho, the 3-pointer was not falling for the Sun, but they were able to maintain the lead and were able to punch Mystics in the throat, and they ended that game 59-76. So now the Sun are 9-0, and the Mystics are 0-9. Worst in the league, best in the league. Very interesting. And for the Sun, they are the 7th team in league history to go undefeated at this point. It was also nice at the end, they interviewed DeWanna Bonner, and her kids were there, her 2 twins, so that was really cute to see them. The stats for this game, Aaliyah Edwards had almost a double-double. She had 14 points, 9 rebounds. Myisha Hines-Allen had 10 points despite that technical. Carly Samuelson and Ariel Atkins both had 9 points. For the Sun, DeWanna Bonner had 20 points and 8 rebounds. Brianna Jones had 15 points. Taisha Harris had 14 points and 6 assists. Alyssa Thomas had a pretty quiet night, actually. She had 7.7 rebounds and 7 assists. So not her normal double-double or triple-double night, but it didn't matter. They won regardless. Now this next game, which was a roller coaster, if I have to say. So this was the New York Liberty versus the Chicago Sky. Really cool that it was Camila Cardoso's first home game, and it was a very interesting, as I said, like roller coaster. It was fun to watch. The Liberty were clicking and gelling that first quarter. It was 31-15 at the end of the first quarter. Breanna Stewart had 15 points in 1 quarter. So I was like, ooh, this is not looking good for the Sky. But the Sky, specifically Kennedy Carter, started figuring it out. They were making plays. She was making steals. Carter actually got into double digits. She was the only player in double digits into the second quarter. And then the Sky as a whole got a lot more aggressive. They were cutting that gap in the score and making some beautiful plays. Although Marina Mabry and Benijah Laney Hamilton got into it, it was kind of funny. And Benijah Laney Hamilton got a foul. They could have both got a technical foul, but they kind of broke it up. And then Teresa Witherspoon did challenge a foul that had 3 seconds left in the second quarter, but she did lose it. At halftime, it was 49-48. So 31-15 in the first quarter, and then at the end of the second quarter was 49-58. So the Sky were coming back. It looked good. I was like, ooh, Sky, turning things around. We could maybe see something happen there, especially because of Carter's contribution. and but that did not necessarily happen. I did like to note, though, in the third quarter, they had Allie Quigley, who is Courtney Vandersloot's wife. Both of them used to be on the Chicago Sky, but now Courtney Vandersloot is on New York Liberty, and she was there. And they did ask her, because she didn't want to play this year, so she's sitting out. And they did ask her if she was going to come back, and she said that she was not sure if she was coming back. There was still a crack in the door, but she wasn't sure, and that she would know very soon. So TBT, to be determined. TBD, excuse me. Again, it was kind of crazy, but Nigelini Hamilton and Marina Mabry got into it again in that third quarter. They went to review it, and they gave both of them technical fouls. So it offset each other. It was fine, but at least the refs were trying to control the situation because it was getting a little testy. To note, Jonquel Jones didn't score until well into the third quarter, and it was only on a free throw, and then she didn't make her first field goal until the fourth quarter. When Carter came back into the game in the third quarter, she kind of had like an ovation from the crowd. The crowd was super excited because she was making such an impact. They ended the third quarter 65-66, 1 point up. But then in the fourth quarter, Sky took their foot off the gas, Liberty going to run and get the lead back to double figures. The Sky tried to get it back, but it's just not enough time. And then in the last 2 minutes of the game, something very confusing happens. At the end of the game, there's about 2 minutes left. Angel fouls, I believe, Nigelini Hamilton. She talks to the ref, says something to him. His name is Charles Watson, and he gives her a technical foul. And then she waves him off as she walks away, and he gives her another technical foul, ejecting her from the game. Both teams look very confused. They don't know what's going on. No explanation is given, and it really seemed out of nowhere, like he was just hurting his feelings. Because people have said worse. Literally, the game I mentioned before, Mahisha Ines-Allen cussed out the ref. She just got a technical. That she didn't get ejected from the game for bad mouthing the refs. There's been worse things said, so that's crazy. I have to say, Charles Watson is a weak ref, and he's been a ref in the league for about 2 years, according to his LinkedIn. I don't remember seeing him. I watch a lot of WNBA games, and I don't know this dude. I know that they come and go, and this is just giving more fuel to the fire about how terrible the officiating is in the league. That it's not consistent. That refs call things they want to call. They're in their feelings sometimes, because that's crazy to give someone a double technical because they waved you off. Your feelings were hurt, clearly. Anywho, the end of that game, it was 88-75. Actually, Angel Reese had a double-double. She had 13 points and 10 rebounds, so she played really well. They just weren't able to pull it out. Elizabeth Williams had 10 points, 8 rebounds. Marina Mabry had 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. And Kennedy Carter had 16 points and 3 steals. She was definitely the spark for the Sky, but just not able to pull it out. Compared to the New York Liberty, Benijah Laney Hamilton had 14 points, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Brianna Stewart had 33 points and 14 rebounds. Crazy double-double numbers. It's Brianna Stewart. What do you expect? Sabrina Ionescu had 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 steals. And Jonquel Jones had a terrible game in terms of points. She only had 5 points and 5 fouls, but she did have 12 rebounds. So she was cleaning it up on the other end of the floor, but just wasn't effective shooting the ball. In the post-game interview with the Sky, the team was asked about it, about the ejection. Marina Mabry said that Angel said something to the ref, and he didn't like it, and he ejected her. And that was pretty much it. And then when the team left, the reporters asked Teresa Witherspoon separately what she knew about the situation. She said she wasn't even told what happened. No one told her what happened. She just was ejected. So great officiating when you don't even tell the coach what is going on. Oh my God. And considering what's happened with Kennedy Carter and this whole Clayton Clark bullshit, and then now this is happening with Angel, they have to do something about the refs. It's not working out. Anywho, the last game was the Phoenix Mercury versus the Seattle Storm. This game was actually on CBS Sports Network, and it was kind of billed as Skylar Diggins-Smith going against her old team. As anyone knows about the drama of that, she did not get along with the team. Well, not the team. It was really just Diana Taurasi, and she did not like the coach at the time. And they got into it, and they pretty much... And then the season ended, and then she got pregnant, and then she was pretty much ignored by the team and dismissed, and she was pretty vocal about that. So there's some tension there. But This was definitely a redeeming moment for the Storm because they played really well in this game. Unfortunately, nneka Wilmeke was not in this game because she suffered an eye injury in practice, so she was out for the game. But we did have Jorna Holmes, who has returned to the Storm. She was re-signed this week, maybe yesterday. They ended up waiving Dulcie. Forgot her name, Fambin Mingianu or something like that. She was in the training camp with Jorna Holmes, but they ended up waiving Joyner in the training camp, and then now Dulcie did not meet expectations, so they let Dulcie go and they called Joyner back. So always be ready. Always be ready. You might have a job, just might be a few weeks. So anyway, the Storm played really well this game. Ezi Magbagor, was in double figures in the first quarter. The first quarter ended 12-25. Oh, the Mercury were getting murdered. There was a point where Skylar Diggins-Smith gets called for a blocking foul against Kalia Copper, but at the same time this blocking foul happens, Kalia Copper hit Skylar in the face. She called for it to be reviewed. Noel Quinn goes for the challenge. They re-look it over, and they do see that it is a head injury violation, so it is called a technical on Kalia Copper. So it was weird. So Skylar gets to shoot a free throw for the technical foul, and then right after Kalia Copper shoots her free throw for the foul from Skylar. Very confusing. Also, Skylar was straight up bleeding from her mouth. It was a bad foul, actually. It did not look good. At the halftime, it was 33-46. Seattle was up. I was like, doesn't look good for the Mercury. They are, I think Seattle's going to win this. And the Mercury continued to struggle, and the Storm flew through the third and fourth quarter. It ended 62-80. For the Mercury, Kalia Copper had 19.7 rebounds. Natasha Cloud had 10.6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. And Diana Taurasi had a disappointing night with 7 points. So really, it was Kalia Copper and Natasha Cloud keeping them in there, but it's just not enough when you only have 2 players scoring like that. For the Storm, you had Victoria Vivians with 10.7 rebounds, Ezi Magbagor with 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks, almost a double-double, crazy amount of blocks. Jewel Lloyd had 15.7 rebounds and 6 assists, and Skylar Diggins-Smith had 17 points. So this was a great win for the Storm, really a statement piece for Skylar, a big F you to you guys for treating me badly. And yeah, it's great. That's wonderful basketball. Maybe not as an exciting game when a team kind of gets blown out like that, but it was fun basketball. So I wouldn't say that it was boring or anything, because Ezi was going off and it was beautiful. But yeah, that is the recap of today's games. If you enjoy this content, I make a video pretty much after every game. I might not make it every day, but I try to make a video for each day. So if you want to see more of that, please like, share, and subscribe. I do not have my comment section on because I don't care what people think about me. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next